We have a deeply ingrained need to understand the world around us. That drive to explore the unknown, to create new knowledge, makes us human. But look at this timeline comparing human reading capacity against the growth of scientific data. Right now, the total volume of published knowledge doubles every 2 months. The sheer scale of information is expanding far beyond what any single person can physically read. Researchers describe this influx as ocean waves, a relentless, continuous surge of papers and databases. It creates a constant underlying anxiety, the worry that somewhere in those thousands of unread tabs, you've missed the specific connection that makes a breakthrough possible. Our biology hasn't evolved to keep pace. Relying on manual reading means we are mathematically guaranteed to fall behind the current rate of global output. This visualization maps out the roughly 17,000 rare diseases currently known to medicine. And down here, this small 5% cluster represents the conditions that actually have an approved treatment. Discovering those treatments relies heavily on physical biology, which is a stubbornly slow, linear process. It requires countless cycles of manual trial and error at the lab bench. Because of the immense labor, a researcher typically only gets a few viable shots on goal. Answering a single complex question can easily consume years of a scientist's career. When patients are suffering, time becomes the most valuable commodity. Right now, the physical clock speed of science is simply too slow to meet the scale of global health challenges. To close that massive time deficit, researchers developed Co-Scientist. It functions as a multi-agent system, operating as a digital research squad, where individual AI agents perform specialized roles that mirror the structure of a human lab team. The process kicks off when a scientist inputs a complex prompt outlining a specific challenge, like asking for a targeted approach to treat liver fibrosis. As you see in this diagram, a central AI agent, we can call the Scout, immediately gets to work. Using literature insights, it branches out across more than 30 major life science databases, extracting and structuring thousands of separate findings into a single organized grid. With the grid populated, a second agent, the Innovator, starts looking for connections. It analyzes isolated clusters of data to start generating raw hypotheses, often linking facts from completely separate scientific fields that a human researcher might never cross-reference. Then comes the Idea Tournament. A third set of agents steps in to act as critics. They rigorously debate, evolve, and rank those initial ideas, discarding the weak ones and locking in the most viable hypotheses with verifiable citations. The architecture replicates the logic and rigor of human scientific debate. The difference is it executes that debate across tens of thousands of papers in a matter of hours. Once those hypotheses are ranked, the system hands them off to the final group in the digital squad, the testing and validation agents. An engine called Computational Discovery takes over. It rapidly generates and scores thousands of different code variations to test the proposed models. Instead of running one test, waiting for the results, and then starting the next, it evaluates thousands of novel modeling approaches, all at exactly the same time. What would normally require months or even years of manual navigation in the lab is condensed into a relentless day or two of parallel computation. By running these tests in parallel, the AI moves past simply summarizing literature. It actively simulates reality, bypassing the physical bottleneck of traditional trial and error entirely. The final output from this assembly line is a highly vetted hypothesis, constructed with such detailed individual rigor that human experts often cannot find a way to immediately disprove it. Bypassing years of dead ends, researchers can take these vetted findings and rush straight to the physical lab to begin actual biological testing. A single researcher sitting at a laptop can now deploy and control the equivalent of 50 digital experts in a single day, regardless of where they are in the world. This creates an entirely new pace of progress. The distance from writing code to testing in a clinical setting is shrinking rapidly. Instead of replacing the scientist, these tools equip them with a highly specialized team, drastically condensing the timeline it takes to decode the universe.